Well, hello there, my reckless fourth graders. I hope you're not causing Miss G too much trouble around here. I've heard about some of you, though. My name is the Associate Sheriff. You can see I'm official with my badge up here. So, today we are going to look at some math to see if you can help me solve some of my sheriff problems. Today we are learning 7.9. We're going to do fractions and properties of addition. We're going to focus on my favorite property of addition is the associative property. Yeah, that's why I'm the associative sheriff. You see? All right, let me tell you what the associative property means. So if you're adding things like 3 plus 4 plus 5, associative means that you can add them in any order and you'll still get the same answer. So if you did 3 plus 4, that'd be 7, and then you did 7 plus 5, you would still get 12. But if we added that, if we added that in a different order, if we did 4 plus 5 first, that'd be 9, 9 plus 3. Once again, it would still be 12. No matter how you add it, you're still going to get 12. So today I'm going to show you how the associative trick can really help us when we're adding fractions. It can save you a lot of time and energy because you need it all that time and energy to fight the bad guys. I know. All right, let's look at it. So our I can today is I can use properties to add fractions. I know you can. So while sheriff, I have solved many cases. My first year, I solved 34 and 5/10 cases. Only got halfway through one of them. My second year, I solved 43 and 6/10 cases. Oh, a little more than half on that last one. This year, I solved 75 and 5/10 cases. So I really upped my game this last year. How many have I solved? So I want to know how many cases I've solved altogether. So if we're thinking about how many have I solved, are we adding or subtracting? We're adding. We're trying to find the total collective whole. So let's circle what we got. We've got 34 and 5/10, 4/3 and 6/10, and 75 and 5/10. Let's just write them down and see what we get. We got 34 and 5/10 plus 43 and 6/10 plus 75 and 5/10. All right. So if you look at this, you might be like, oh, I'll just add 34 and 5/10 plus 43 and 6/10. Then we'll add it to 75. But that's actually going to take you a lot more time than you think. The trick here, when we're doing associative property with fractions, is to look at the fractions first. We've got 5/10, 6/10, and 5/10. We want to figure out what two fractions could we add together to make one whole, 10/10. So is 5 plus 6 equal 10/10? No, but does 5 plus 5 equal 10/10? Yes. So what we want to do is we're going to add these two fractions first, okay? So we know that 5, let's just look at the fractions. 5 plus 5 is 10/10, which is the same thing as 1, okay? Now let's add those whole numbers. We have 75 and 34. So we could do that over here, 75 plus 34. 5 plus 4 is 9. 7 plus 3 is 10. Okay, so we have 109 plus this 1 from 5/10 plus 5/10. So total, these two fractions will equal 110. So let's write, sorry guys, we'll move that over here. Now we have 110. I hope everyone saw that, right? So 34 plus 75 got us 109. 5/10 plus 5/10 gave us 10/10, which is the same thing as 1. 109 plus 1 is 110. Now we're going to take this number, and then we're going to add plus the only fraction we haven't done yet. So we still have 43 and 6/10, because we haven't added it to anything yet. Now it's nice because we only have one fraction, so we don't have to add any more fractions. All we have to do is add these whole numbers. So if we have 110 plus 43, 0 plus 0 is 3, 4 plus 1 is 5. We have 153 when we add the whole numbers. And then we just bring down that fraction, and 6 over 10. So in total, in my career of being sheriff, I've gotten 153 and 6 out of 10 cases solved. That's pretty impressive. So when we do associative, we just want to figure out which fractions we'll add together to make one whole to make the adding process so much easier, okay? So let's look at a few examples on how we do that. That's the great thing about associative, is that it works beautifully for multiplication and addition, because you can do them in any order. So example number 1, we've got 1 1/3 plus 2 plus 3 2/3. All right, so the first thing we do when we're doing this and we're thinking of associative property is we're going to underline our two fractions, okay? We've got 1/3 and 2/3, so this one we're lucky, it doesn't even have a fraction. This is actually really easy. When we add up our fractions, 1 plus 2 is 3, and then always stays over the same number. It's 3 over 3, which is the same thing as 1. Okay, so now all we have to do is add up all the whole numbers. We have this one plus this one. 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 3 is 6. 6 plus 1 is 7. So all together, these add up to 7. All because we did associative. Rather than adding these and these, we just chose to add the fractions that would make most sense together. All right, let's try another one. That one was pretty simple because there was only two fractions to do. Example number 2. Let's do 3 4/10 plus 5 2/10 plus 6/10. So there's only a fraction on that last one. There's no whole number. All right, so let's look at our fractions before we start. We have 1, 2, 3. We want to figure out which ones of these could we add together to get 10 out of 10 and make it into one whole, okay? So does 4 plus 2 equal 10 over 10? Well, 4 plus 2 is 6, so 6 over 10, that won't work. Is 2 plus 6, that'd be 8 over 10. So we look here, 4 plus 6. 4 plus 6 is 10 over 10. So what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to add these two fractions. All right, so 4 plus 6 is 10. Keep it over the same number, 10. And that turns into 1. So now we're done with those two fractions. But let's add in this 3 over here, okay? 3 plus this 1 equals 4. All right, so we've used this fraction and this one. So all we have left is to add 4 plus 5 and 2 over 10. Well, it's fabulous because now we only have one fraction. So 4 plus 5 is 9, and then we just keep that same fraction, 2 over 10. So all these together equal 9 2/10. Awesome. Okay, let's do one more, and then we'll do our pause problems. Hopefully you're picking up what I am putting down. All right, example number 3. All right, we have 2 7/8 plus 3 2/8 plus 1 1/8. Okay, just like before when we do these, we want to focus on the fractions. We've got one fraction, two fractions, three fractions. Okay, we can see our number on bottom is 8. Let's see if any of them add up together to give us 8. Okay, is 7 plus 2? Well, 7 plus 2 is 9. That doesn't work. 2 plus 1 is 3. But 7 plus 1 over here is 8. So we're going to add these two numbers, okay? So we have 7 plus 1. We have 8 over 8, which also equals 1. And then what's 2 plus 1? 3. So we have a 3 plus this 1. 3 plus 1 is 4. Okay, so let's take our 4 and let's add it to the fraction we haven't used yet, which is plus 3 2/8. Well, now all we have to do is add the whole numbers. So 4 plus 3 is 7. Keep our 2/8. 7 2/8 is our answer. All right, I'm feeling that you guys are ready for the pause problem. Remember, you can always pause, go back, do whatever you need to do to understand this problem. All right, pause problem number 1. All right, if we have 1 2/5 plus 1 plus 3 3/5. Go ahead and give it a try. See what you get, but I'm going to keep going. So 1 2/5 plus 1 plus 3 3/5. Pause it and give it a try. I'm going to keep going. So this one we only have 2 fractions, right? So let's add those first. So this one's convenient because 2 plus 3 is 5. And we keep the number on the bottom the same. And 5 over 5 equals 1. So now let's add these whole numbers. 3 plus 1 is 4. And 4 plus this last one is 5. So we have 5 plus the only one left, which is 1. 5 plus 1 equals 6. So if you got 6 on your pause problem, you got it right. Fantastic job. All right, let's do one a little bit harder for your last pause problem. I know you can handle it. All right, pause problem number 2, last one. If we have 5, hang on. We have 5 3/6 plus 4 3/6 plus 5 5/6. I want you to go ahead and add those 3 numbers. 5 3/6 plus 4 3/6 plus 5 5/6. I'm going to keep going. So look at all 3 fractions. All right. If we have these 3 fractions, I want to say which 2 can we add together to get this number on bottom, which is 6. But I automatically see 3 plus 3 is 6. So that'd be 6 over 6, or in other words, 1. Let's add their whole numbers. 5 plus 4 is 9. 9 plus 1 is 10. So these 2 together equal 10. But we still have to add that last piece, that 5 5/6. All right? So let's add them. 10 plus 5 is 15. We just bring down that 5/6. So our answer should be 15 5/6. Hot diggity dog, we did it. All right, have a fabulous day. Stay out of trouble, or you could be seeing me soon. All right, bye guys.